Good morning. So today we are going to do some more. We're going to learn about the distributive property and then combining your like terms. So this morning, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to do a review of what we did yesterday. So I'm going to put a few problems up here. So then pause the video and then work through those. Okay. So give me just a second. Let me get it situated. Okay, so here we go. I want you, number one, it says find the perimeter of 2x minus 5 in this little triangle, 5 minus x, 3x minus a 2. Then I want you to simplify 2x minus 16 plus 5x plus a 45, and then simplify 2x minus 4y plus a 6 plus a 3x minus a 9y minus a 4. So I want you to take a minute and do this. Do these three problems. Okay, perimeter is the distance around an object. So the distance around this triangle right here is going to be, I'm going to add all the sides. So I'm going to say 2x minus 5 plus this side 5 minus x plus this side here 3x minus a 2. So I'm going to combine my like terms. So I'm going to combine 2x minus an x plus a 3x. So 2 minus 1 is a 1. 1 plus a 3 is a 4x. Okay, then I'm going to combine my constants. So negative 5 plus a 5, which is a 0. So this is going to be a minus a 2. Okay, so the perimeter of this figure is going to be 4x minus a 2. Okay, all right, so what about here? We want to simplify by combining our like terms. So 2x plus a 5x, so that's a 7x. And then I've got negative 16 plus a 45. So I subtract those two things. So what is that? A 29. Okay. So far so good. So then, like number 3 here, number 3, we want to combine our like terms. So how many different like terms do I have for number 3? Okay, hope you said 3. 3 would be our answer. So I've got a x and I've got a y and then I've got constants. So I want to combine my x's, so 2x plus 3x, which is going to give me a 5x. I have a negative 4y and a negative 9y, which is going to be a negative 13y. And then I have my constant 6 minus a 4, which is going to be a positive 2. Okay? All right. So today we're going to look at the distributive property and then using the distributive property to combine like terms. Okay? And this is one of the most important properties in algebra and math. Okay, distributive property. So the distributive property tells me that if I have a number on the outside, okay, if I have the number on the outside, I can remove the parentheses by multiplying the a times everything inside. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the a times everything inside. That's how I can remove that parentheses. So I'm going to say a times b, then I'm going to say plus a times c. okay? Even if there was a minus, however many terms you have in there, you're going to multiply it times everything inside there, okay? So let's look at some examples first. Okay, so let's look at this one here. We've got 5 times x plus 4. So here I am going to distribute. So I'm going to say 5 times x, and then I'm going to say plus 5 times 4. So that's going to be a 5x plus a 20. Okay, so what about this one? I'm going to say 2 times x, which is a 2x, 2 times negative 3, which is a negative 6. Okay, I'm not going to write simplify there, but you kind of know that that's what we're going to do. Okay, what about this? I have a negative here, so I'm going to say negative 4 times z plus negative 4 times 3. So negative 4 times z is a negative 4z and plus a negative 12. But plus a negative 12 turns into a what? A minus 12. So when there's a negative, it's going to change the signs on the outside. So if I just had this, got a negative on the outside like this, then what does that mean? Okay, that negative just there, that's a negative 1. So I can remove my parentheses by saying negative x plus a negative 4, which that's going to be a negative x minus a 4. Okay, all right, now I want you to do some for me, okay? Okay, so y'all do these four for me. So take a minute, pause the video, take about 10 minutes and work on these 4 for me. Okay? Okay, so here we're going to multiply. So we're multiplying, distributing here. So we're saying negative 3 times 2x. So that's going to be a negative 6x. And a negative 3 times a negative 4, right? So that's going to become a positive 12. I'm sorry, they're getting ice out of the ice maker. Okay, so for this next one, I want to multiply 2 times everything inside of that parentheses. So 2 times x, which is a 2x. 2 times negative y, which is a negative 2y. And remember, you always write the coefficient, so you're always going to write that number in front of the variable. And then 2 times 4, which is an 8. Okay? All right, down here we've got 8 times 4, which is a 32. And then 8 times a negative y, which is a negative 8y. Okay, you may have struggled with this one, but let's practice this one. So same thing's happening here. So I'm going to break this down here. So this is going to be saying a positive 1/4 times 8x. Okay, minus a 1/4 times 4. Okay, this 8 is 8 over 1. So this is really saying 8 over 4x. Okay, and this one, same thing, is saying 4 over 4. So 8 over 4 is going to give me a 2x, and 4 over 4 is going to give me a 1. Okay, so fractions work the same thing, same way. All you're doing is just then simplifying it and making sure it may not always reduce. The fraction may not always reduce and go evenly, so you may have to just take some rules of your fractions. Those don't go away either. You're always going to use them. Okay. All right, let's do one more fraction before we move on to so this one, we've got 1/6 times 3/5 x plus an 18. So this is 1/6 times a 3/5 plus 1/6 times an 18. Okay, so when I do this, this is actually 3. That reduces. 3 goes into 6 2 times. So this is going to be 1 times 1, which is a 1, 2 times 5, which is a 10. Okay, this one here, we would reduce. 6 goes into 18 3 times. So this would be a positive 3. Okay. Okay, I lied to y'all. Let's do one more before we do some more advanced ones. So it's a negative 1/8 times 4/5 x minus a 24. Okay, so here, take a minute, try to do this one for me before I work it with you. So let's pause the video, let's pause it, and let's go. Okay, so negative 1/8, so negative 1/8 times 4/5 x minus a negative 1/8 times 24. That's like 24 over 1. Okay, 4 goes into 8 2 times, so that's a negative times a positive, which is a negative 1. 2 times 5, which is a 10. Here, 8 goes into 4 3 times, so that's going to be a negative 3. That negative there is going to turn into a plus a 3. Okay? Awesome. All right. Let's now apply these to then combining your like terms. So the first thing to distribute and combine is you're going to use the distributive property to simplify. So you're using your orders of operations. So multiplication comes first before you can add and or subtract. So you need to multiply, get rid of the parentheses, and then combine your like terms. So now we're going to be applying it together. So distribute first. Okay, then order of operations to combine your like terms. Okay, I think 11. We're on 11. Okay, let's look here. So the first thing I have to do before I can start combining my like terms is use my distributive property to simplify. So I'm going to say 9 times 2x, which is an 18x. 9 times negative 4, which is a negative 36. Negative 2 times 7 is a negative 14x. And negative 2 times a negative 12 is a positive 24. Okay, Combine now your like terms. So we'll have 18x minus a 14x, so that's going to be a 4x. And negative 36 plus a 24 is going to be a negative 12. Okay, let's do this one together. So, 10 minus, parentheses, y minus 6 minus a y. So this is a negative 1 in front right here. So this is the first thing I need to do is say negative times y is a negative y. Negative times a negative 6 is a positive 6. Okay, now I'm going to combine my like terms. So negative y minus a y is a negative 2y. 10 plus a 6 is going to be a 16. Okay. All right, I'll do this one here. Okay, so I'll take a minute and I'll do this one. So 6 plus 8 times 4y minus 7 minus 2y plus a 1. Okay, so we're going to distribute. So we have to distribute first. So we're going to bring down the 6. And 8 times a 4y is a 32y. And an 8 times a negative 7 is a negative 56. This minus here is like a negative 1, so this is going to be a minus 2y and a minus a 1. Combine your like terms, so 32y minus a 2y is a 30y. And then 6 minus a 56 is a negative 50. Right? And then negative, all right, 6 minus a 56 is a negative 50. Negative 50 minus a 1 is a negative 51. Okay? Okay, let's do some with a fraction. And then I'm going to let you start on your homework. Okay, so let's look at this one with a fraction. So, take each one, distribute. So we'll take 9/4 times the 10 over 3 minus 9/4 times 4 over 1. That's like 4 over 1. Sorry, just going ahead and saying that. Negative 1/4 times like 2 over 1x. And that's a negative 1/4 times 8 over 1. Okay, so 10, 4, so that 2 goes into both of those. Okay, so 9 times 5 is a 45. Oh, no, I can reduce that too. So 3 goes into 9. How many times? 3. So 3 times 5 is a 15. So this is 15 over 2. Okay, and this is going to be a minus a 9. This is a negative 1/2 x. And this is going to be a negative 2. Okay, so let's rewrite this real quick. Okay, because that minus and negative does turn into a plus. So combine my like terms, so 15 halves x minus a 1/2 x. So that's going to be a 14 halves x. Negative 9 plus a 2 is a minus a 7. Okay? So that's going to simplify to 7x minus a 7. Okay? All right. So combining like terms are one of the other main serious topics in algebra that you really need to comprehend and grasp. So take a minute and work on your homework that you have. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Y'all have a good day.